Hello, everybody. Cassandra with you here of CassandraVon.com. Let us talk about, and this is today's EQ lesson, by the way, emotional intelligence lesson, which I love to teach. I teach it on Udemy. I teach it in all of my courses on Skillshare. I certainly teach it in the 27 books that I've written that you can find at overcomingfearbooks.com. All 27 takes you right to my Amazon author profile. Today, in today's EQ lesson, I want to talk about this: 3 words that will break the ice in difficult conversations. And this is a coaching lesson because as coaches, we use this all the time. So 3 words: you're in a difficult conversation and obviously it feels tense for many, many reasons. There are things that need to be negotiated and things that need to be said, and you're not really sure how somebody's going to take it. And I'm going to give you 3 words that as a coach work super, super well if you mean them. I will preface it by saying if you mean them. So 3 words that you can use to break the ice in no matter how tense a conversation is in the middle of a conversation. And here are those 3 words. Tell me more. And this is why I say you've really got to mean it. Tell me more, because when we're in difficult conversations, we are, so first of all, in most difficult conversations, there is a sense that even if we never say it, and even if we don't walk in with that intention, in most difficult conversations, there is a lot of defensiveness because people don't want to be made to be wrong. They don't want to come out wrong. And the assumption is when you're in a difficult conversation, someone has to win and someone has to lose. And you could be the most woosah, I meditate every day, I look for the good in people kind of person, and still at the end of the day, because it's so ingrained in our culture, it is very typical that when you find yourself in a difficult conversation, especially if you didn't expect to be in one, which oftentimes happens, your go-to fight or flight response lives in the vein of, I've got to protect myself, I've got to defend myself, they don't have my back, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose, and it can't be me losing. So the reason why tell me more breaks the ice, number one, it forces you to get out of that fight or flight defense. You backed me into a corner, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose mode. When you really take your attention off of what I need in the situation and what I'm defending, and then you put all of your focus on, what is the other person going through? What is the other person experiencing? What does the other person need? I want to understand their perspective better, because the only way to get a win-win is to understand them. And so when somebody is saying something to you in the midst of a difficult conversation, they might be accusing you of something. They might be sharing their feelings of a situation that they had with you and they felt that you didn't handle it appropriately. They might be talking about their experience of you, which you don't think is accurate. And so when you say to them, you say, tell me more. And you really mean it. Like, you got to mean it. Like, if you're saying tell me more because you're just waiting for your turn to talk, or because you think it's the right thing to say, but you don't really give a crap what they have to say, this does not work. But when you truly go, okay, they're saying I did something, or they're saying I said something, and I don't agree with that perspective, but I want to understand why they feel that way. And I want to understand where they're coming from. And I know that the only way for us to win together is for me to really deeply care about what they need and about what they want. And to make this right, we both have to be on the same page. So I need to understand them in a way that I currently don't. When you come from that perspective, right? So there's a lot of that focus on them that's in it for you, a lot. There's a lot that you can gain from that. But when you really pivot to, help me understand why you feel the way you do. Help me understand where you're coming from. I don't get it right now, but I really want to. I don't get it right now, but help me understand. Then the ice breaks and you're able to be like, okay, now I get it. So tell me more is a powerful strategy, because now you're saying, I don't understand, but I'd like to. I don't see things the way you do, but I'm interested. I want to understand where you're coming from. And that level of interest in another person, especially if they're upset, especially if they feel unheard, especially if they feel you did something wrong, it eases the tension and it increases the level of trust. And then the two of you can have a conversation that isn't about, well, you said this and I said this, or you did this and I did this. Now you have a conversation about, how can we come together? How can we bridge the gap? How can we? It becomes a we conversation instead of an I and a you and a me and a them. It becomes a we conversation. And where there is victory, where there is achieving together, is in the we conversation. It's not in the you me conversation. And so those three words will literally break the ice if you mean them. I have to caveat that. If you mean them. If you don't mean them and you're just giving lip service and you're just trying to use a coaching tactic to get what you want, energy doesn't lie, and that will translate. So you can say, okay, tell me more. Tell me more. You don't like what I said. Tell me. Your energy never lies. So this only works if you're truly coming from an authentic place of wanting to know. But if you really do want to know, and if you really want to make this a we conversation, and you really want to break the ice in a difficult conversation because you want to get to a win for both of you, this works every single time. And it's three words. Tell me more. There you have it.